Good morning, students. Till yesterday's lecture, we discussed about the chronic case taking, how to take chronic case, which prerequisites are needed before taking the chronic case, which knowledge the physician should have, which are the objectives of case taking, then which difficulties we may face while taking chronic case. This is discussed till previous lecture. Also we started with acute case taking. So chronic case taking is given from aphorism number 94 up to aphorism number 98, and acute case taking is given from aphorism number 99 up to aphorism number 102. So once we revise in short what we discussed in yesterday's lecture, in acute diseases, physician should be able to collect 2 points. First, the physician should collect the presenting complaint, chief complaint, the history of the present illness in form of a complete symptom, that is location, sensation, modality and concomitant. The physician should ask while taking the presenting complaint. Then also the physician should ask about the general state of the patient. The general state, it is related to physical general as well as mental general state of the patient. If there is any changes at the physical general plane, that is changes in his appetite, in his thirst, thermal reaction, his bowel movements, his sleep pattern, so these things are very important. These changes are very important to find out the simillimum for the selection of simillimum. So we should ask about the changes on physical level or physical plane. Then also we should ask about the changes on mental plane, like irritability, confusion, fear and restlessness. If the previously the patient is different by nature, by his mental state, and now there are any deviations, any changes like if the patient become irritable, he was calm, quiet before, and since he was suffering from so and so disease condition, he become irritable. There may be confusion in the mind of patient, then there may be fear and restlessness. So in all type of acute diseases, that is individual, sporadic or epidemic acute disease, we should find out the acute totality in this pattern only. So what is the how the acute totality is formed? It is nothing but a sector totality. That means the particular symptom, it should be as a complete symptom and a fixed general totality, that is mental, if there are any changes in mental and physical general level. So these are the important things to note down while taking the acute case. In aphorism number 99, Dr. Hahnemann discussed about the difference in acute case taking and chronic case taking. He compared the acute case taking with chronic case taking. So what happened? In acute case taking, the symptoms are started since a very short period before few days. So the patient as well as the relatives, they can able to give a proper history about the suffering, proper history of the complaint, and the physician should require less inquiry about the suffering of the patient or to collect the symptoms of acute disease. In exactly opposite, in chronic case taking, what happened, which we discussed previously in the previous lectures, that while taking the chronic case, as the deviation from the state of health, it is of long duration, the patient was suffering from any disease since a long period, so the patient, he cannot able, many times the patient cannot able to give the accurate history of his illness. There may be chances of missing anything while narrating his history about the disease, or there may be chances that the patient may forget some symptoms. So there are many difficulties while taking chronic case. In that we discussed about chronic case taking, which difficulties we may face while taking chronic case, and so as compared to acute disease, the chronic case taking is a tough job, because in chronic case taking we the physician should have a skillful knowledge, and he should have patience, he should have a skill to find out the symptoms properly before disease condition, at the commencement of the disease condition, and at present state, at all level, at physical general level, at mental general level, and at organ or disease level. So he should have to collect all these changes at different time. So in acute case taking, it is easy because the deviation from the state of health is fresh, and so the patient as well as patient's relatives, they can able to give the details about the symptoms. So they require the less inquiry to find out the proper disease state of the patient. Physician is also required to know everything about the patient, all his states, that is mental general, physical general, and particular, in deep, in detail, so that he can able to find out the proper simillimum. It is very easy to take a case in acute disease, because all the phenomena and the deviation from the health that has been recently lost are still in the memory of the patient and relatives. Physician wants to know everything in such cases also, but he has much less to inquire into. This is only the same as the previous slide, that is, the deviations are of short period, so with less inquiry we should get, or physician should get, the exact idea about the case, the exact symptoms of the case, so that he can able to find out the proper acute totality of the disease. In acute disease, the presenting complaints are very prominent and impress our sense quickly. So much less time is required for tracing the full picture of the disease. So as the deviation from state of health is since very short period, the symptoms are very prominent and they can expressed by the patient very well. So the less time is required to get the full picture or full totality of the disease. It requires only few questionings. Almost everything is self evident. So while taking the case in such patients, almost everything is self evident. The patient give spontaneously the history of the disease, as well as with our observation we can get the proper many symptoms with our observation. And so very less questioning, very less need to inquire about much details of the case. Evolution of symptoms are very quick in acute diseases and the patient remember all of them. Any non-causative factor for the explosion of latent sora is to be ascertained. So this is very important that we should find out what is the causative factor behind this acute state of the patient. Which is the causative factor for explosion of latent sora. So we should have to find out the causative factor behind the acute presenting complaints or acute explosion of latent sora. So as in chronic case taking, we discussed that there are exciting cause or maintaining cause behind while treating the disease. If the exciting cause is there, then though our medicine is correct, though our potency is correct, our repetition of the medicine is correct, then also we cannot get a desirable result. We cannot get the expected result while treating the patient. And as soon as we find out the exciting cause, maintaining cause behind the disease condition, behind which was hidden in the case, and we remove it, then we get the result which we expect in the case. In the same way, in acute case taking, there may be a causative factor behind there may be any non causative factor behind the disease. So to find out the causative factor and remove that causative factor is very much important while treating the patient. Till we cannot remove that causative factor, we cannot get the desirable or we cannot get the expected result while treating the patient. If you are dealing with an acute condition, limit yourself to dealing with the acute state alone and do not at the same time attempt to deep into what has been a chronic state. As we discussed in chronic case taking, if there is acute disease behind which there is any chronic disease, but at that time in such case we should never consider the symptoms of chronic disease, but only by giving importance to the acute complaints, by giving importance to the acute totality, we should collect the symptoms of the acute suffering, and only we can focus on those symptoms. We never give importance at that time to the symptoms of the chronic disease. So, while dealing with the acute state, or while treating the acute condition in which there is on its background there is chronic disease, so in such case we only deal with the acute state alone and do not at the same time attempt to deep into what has been a chronic state. Investigation of acute diseases or of such as have existed but a short time is much the easiest for the physician, because all the phenomena and deviations from the state of health that has been but recently lost are still fresh in the memory of the patient, and his friends still continue to be novel and striking. So we should find out, we should investigate what is the cause behind the acute disease. We should investigate the disease properly and to investigate, to find the symptoms of acute disease, to find the proper acute totality. It is very much easy job for the physician, because as we have seen in the previous slides that as the deviation from the state of health is of short duration, so the patient or his relatives remember each and everything very properly, and they give history very properly. So it is very easy to find out or to investigate in acute condition and to find out the acute totality. The treatment of acute disease is much easier by the homeopathic mode of treatment, because the manifestation and picture remain clear to the patient and the physician. As we are needed to, or while treating homeopathically, when we are treating the patient homeopathically, then we require details about his mental, physical and particular state. So as we get a clear picture very easily in acute totality, so it is easy job for the physician to treat the acute condition. In acute case taking, physician should limit his inquiry to recent deviations from health. Since acute case taking require immediate medical intervention, should not waste time in collecting details of constitutional state confined to presentation of case. Many times what happen, the acute disease is violent in nature, and in such situation or in such violent state of the acute disease, we should never waste time in collecting details about the particular or the presenting complaint, as well as to find out the details about the physical general state of the patient, mental general state of the patient. In such state, in such acute violent state of the patient or disease, we should take the symptoms whatever we get easily from the patient, his relatives, as well as with our observation, whatever symptoms or whatever findings we get according to those symptoms, according to these findings, we should give the similimum to the patient. In such patient, we should never waste time in collecting details as well as to find out the constitutional state of the patient. In acute diseases, along with acute physical symptoms, observe the mental symptoms also. As we discussed in the previous slides, that is mental general state and physical general state, the deviations at the general level, these are very much important because according to the state, physical general state or mental general state, when we prescribe the medicine, then we get expected results while treating the patient. In footnote, Dr. Hahnemann gives some examples how the remedy act well when we considered while finding out the similimum, when we considered the mental state of the patient, and if we cannot consider the mental state of the patient, then how we cannot get the proper results. So it was given in the footnote that in acute diseases, along with acute physical symptoms, observe the mental symptoms also. The examples are given that aconite will never effect or cure if the patient is calm, quiet and cheerful, easygoing disposition. So aconite, it is irritable. So if the patient is calm, quiet, cheerful in nature, he is easygoing in nature, and if we give aconite to that patient, then we may not get the expected result. In the same way, Nux vomica is irritable remedy. As we know, there is too much impatience in Nux vomica patient. So Nux vomica, if we give the Nux vomica to the mild and phlegmatic patient, very calm patient, then it may not act well or we may not get the expected result. In the same way, as pulsatilla is weeping disposition, pulsatilla is sad, but if the patient is happy, cheerful and obstinate, the nature of pulsatilla is it is exactly opposite to the nature of the patient. That is, if the patient is happy and cheerful, patient is obstinate, then when we give pulsatilla to such patient, then the medicine may not act properly. Which type of diet and regimen we should give or we should advise to the patient while treating? This is also given in aphorism number 262 and aphorism number 263. So, Dr. Hahnemann give advice to the relatives or to the friends. He gave advice to them that gratify the patient's desire with regard to food and drink without offering and urging. So, don't offer anything, don't urge the patient to eat or drink anything against his will, but gratify the desire of the patient give the patient whatever he want to eat, whatever he want to drink, gratify their desire with regard to food and drink. The friends and attendants should be advised not to put any obstacle in the fulfillment of desires expressed by patient, as these are aroused by the inner subtle voice of the life preserving vital force. So many times, as we discussed earlier, that there may be some obstacles while treating the patient, as we should have to remove the causative factor behind the disease state. In the same way, we should have to fulfill the desire of the which are expressed by the patient regarding his food and drink. So Dr. Hahnemann, he advised the patient's friends, his relatives, his attendants, that not to put any obstacle in the fulfillment of desire expressed by the patient. You should always fulfill the desires which are expressed by the patient. Why we should fulfill these desires? Because the desires which are expressed by the patient, these are not patient's desire, but these are the desires of the vital force. The patient desires those things that give palliative relief and merely supply a sort of want. So, when we fulfill the desire of the patient, then it give a palliative relief. We found a palliative relief in the patient after fulfilling the desire of the regarding food and drink. As the example is given, aconite desires for cold water, the slight hindrance or obstruction in removal of disease is overcome by refreshing effect of gratified desire. So, as in aconite, the medicine aconite, there is desire for cold water, and if the patient is aconite patient, the patient is having desire for cold water, when we are treating the patient, our medicine is correct, as we discussed previously, our dose is correct, our potency is correct, our repetition is correct, then also we find some obstacles while treating the patient, and these obstacle is nothing but we are not fulfilling the desire of the patient. And if the patient is aconite, there is desire for the cold water. When we give cold water to the patient, then it give palliative effect, it give palliative relief, and we should overcome the obstruction, and we get the refreshing effect of gratified desire. We get the desirable result, proper cure in the patient. This is all about the food, desire for food and drinks. Now, temperature and clothings. What about the temperature and clothings? The temperature of the room and the quality of the coverings must be arranged entirely according to the desire of the patient. So, if the patient want the surrounding cool, the patient want fan, then we should provide him as per his requirement. If the patient is feeling cold, he is feeling chilly, then if he required the coverings, then we should give him coverings. So as per the requirement of the temperature of room, temperature of the surrounding, as well as covering, as well as the clothes which he wear, in which he is comfortable, we should provide all these things as per the need of the patient, as per the desire of the patient. Then patient must be kept free from all overexertion of mind and exciting emotion. If there is overexertion of mind, in general, when the patient is deceased or when the person is deceased, then he should take rest physically as well as mentally. So the patient should be free from all exertion of the mind and exciting emotions which may give or which may disturb the state of the patient more easily. So we should keep the patient free from overexertion of mind as well as exciting emotion. So in this way, what things we should do, which are the important things, how in acute disease we should get the proper results, why we should provide what the patient, what according to the demand of the patient, related to his desire, aversion of the food, drink, as well as about the temperature of his surrounding, about the clothings, coverings, about the state of the mind, his emotions. So when we take care of all these things, then we never get any difficulty. When we find out the simillimum, then we easily get the cure in acute disease condition. In aphorism number 100 to 102, in these aphorism, Dr. Hahnemann discuss about case taking in epidemic and sporadic diseases. So, how we should take the case in epidemic and sporadic disease? It was given by Dr. Hahnemann that individuals vary from each other, and even the generic picture of the epidemic disease may vary from year to year. Though the epidemic of the same disease condition, it may occur or it may repeat every year, then also the totality of picture, the common disease picture, it is vary from year to year. As well as in each disease, in each deceased person, in each patient, we get some symptoms which are other than the common symptoms of that epidemic. In epidemic disease, the disease cause might be same or a fixed miasm giving rise to a general picture of the disease to which all the patient conform to, but each individual patient adds his characteristics in this general symptom complex to make each patient unique and different from others. So, in epidemic disease condition, in epidemic disease, though the cause is same and there is fixed miasm behind that epidemic condition, so that it give some common disease symptoms, some common general picture of the disease, which we said as a epidemic totality. But as I told, that each individual patient, each individual person, in each patient we found some extra symptoms than the epidemic picture of that disease. So these are nothing but the characteristics, and these characteristic symptoms, they form each patient, or they make each patient unique and different from the others. So investigate each sporadic and epidemic disease as a new and unknown case and select medicine according to its symptom similarity. So when we treating in epidemic condition, when we treating person suffering from epidemic disease, in that also we should consider the patient as a separate entity. So we should collect all the symptoms of the patient suffering, and we should find out which are the symptoms of epidemic disease, which are the symptoms of the patient, and according to symptom similarity we should find out the medicine. So in each individual case the medicine may be different in epidemic disease also, because there are different characteristic symptoms in each case. In epidemic disease, a complete picture of the disease is apparent to the physician only when he observes a number of cases during the epidemic. So what is the epidemic symptoms of the disease? The epidemic symptoms of disease are nothing but when the physician observe many patients having the same suffering, and when he gets some common symptoms in each individual, in each patient, then he make the common symptom totality of that disease. So this is called as epidemic disease picture. So in epidemic disease, a complete picture of the disease is apparent to the physician only when he observes a number of cases during the epidemic. when the patient observe a number of cases, when the physician observe a number of cases during the epidemic, then he can able to make the complete image or complete picture of that epidemic disease. Every epidemic disease is many respect a phenomena of a unique character, differing vastly from all previous epidemics. So, every epidemic disease is a unique, and as in the previous slide it was given that if that epidemic came every year, then also there is difference from previous epidemic and this epidemic. The complete picture of an epidemic disease is grasped through observation of a good many persons falling victims to that epidemic disease. So, to get the complete picture of epidemic disease, we observe many persons who are suffering from that epidemic disease, and after observing many persons we get the proper complete picture of that epidemic disease condition. In aphorism number 100, Dr. Hahnemann give about epidemic and sporadic diseases. On investigating epidemic and sporadic diseases, the physician must regard the pure picture of every prevailing disease as if it were something new and unknown. So, to get the pure picture of disease, we should take each person as a new case, and we should take it as a unknown. Then careful examination will show that every prevailing disease is a phenomena of a unique character, differing vastly from all previous epidemics. So, in every epidemic disease, in every epidemic, there is some difference than the previous epidemic. So, we should always carefully examine and then form the proper totality after finding out the unique character of that epidemic condition. With the exception of those epidemics resulting from a contagious principle that always remain the same. As example, the examples are given as smallpox and measles. So, there are some exceptions for the epidemic condition, that is, some epidemic conditions like smallpox and measles, though it is recurring every year, but then also the causative factor, the which result from a contagious principle, and it always remain the same. So, though it is repeating every year, but the contagious principle it is remain same in some disease conditions like smallpox and measles. Don't get under the influence of name of disease, because each disease vastly differ from previous epidemics. As this is also discussed in the previous slides, that during each epidemic there is some difference in the totality of the symptoms. So we should never consider the disease according to its name, but we should consider the disease new every time, and we should find out the totality after proper investigation. Investigate every disease as if it were something new and unknown. Investigate it thoroughly, carefully examining in its all phases. So, to find out the proper totality, we should examine all phases of the disease condition carefully. We should investigate every disease properly, considering it as a new and unknown condition or disease. On investigating epidemic and sporadic diseases, the physician must regard the pure picture of every prevailing disease as if it were something new and unknown. Careful examination will show that every prevailing disease is a phenomenon of a unique character, differing vastly from all previous epidemics, with the exception of those epidemics resulting from contagious principle that always remain the same, such as smallpox and measles. This is all given in aphorism number 100. That is, in short, every epidemic we should consider as a new, because there is always some difference between the previous epidemic and the present epidemic. So we should never go according to the previous epidemic, but we should consider every epidemic as a new, and we should find out the proper totality, and we should find out in each individual patient the characteristic particulars of the patient. Then in aphorism number 101, case taking in epidemic diseases, it is given by Dr. Hahnemann. Only by close observation of several diseases, he can become conversant with totality of signs and symptoms specific epidemic disease. So, when we observe several diseases, when we observe many patients, then we know the signs and symptoms of the epidemic disease, and we can able to find out the characteristic symptoms other than the symptoms of epidemic condition. Exceptionally, a careful observant physician can form a characteristic portrait and give a suitable homeopathic medicine. So, while taking proper case in epidemic disease, we can able to find out the epidemic totality or the common totality of that epidemic and the symptoms of that person, which we said as a characteristic of that person and or patient, and according to that we can able to choose the homeopathic similimum. By a close observation of several cases of every such collective disease, we get the totality of its signs and symptoms of current epidemic. The carefully observing physician, even from the examination of even the first and second patient, succeed in finding suitable homeopathic medicine. So, after close observation of several cases, we can get the proper totality of that epidemic. And though the physician is careful observer, then also he may get, after finding or after observing 1-2 patients, he may get the suitable epidemic total, he may get to find out the suitable epidemic totality, but it is difficult to find out the proper epidemic totality by observing 1 or 2 patients, but only after observing several patients we get the proper epidemic totality. Physician able to find suitable homeopathic medicine from a single case should verify medicine or discover the most appropriate medicine by observing several cases. Formation of totality of symptoms by examining several cases. Totality gets complete by inclusion of following points. So after observing several cases only we get a proper totality, and when the totality is complete, when it is having the following, it fulfill the following points, that is peculiarities of the collective disease, peculiarities of the physical general symptom, and special symptoms peculiar to few diseases and of rare occurrence. When all these things are collected while taking the case, then we said that the epidemic totality is complete. Totality is to be only deduced by observing of several patients of different constitution. Means after observing not only several patients, but we observe the several patients having different constitution, and then we form the epidemic totality. Upon recording the symptoms of several cases of this kind, disease picture become clear. General signs such as loss of appetite, sleeplessness, or any signs or any changes at the physical general level become less marked. On the other hand, particular and rarer symptoms belonging to only a few diseases become marked and form what is characteristic for this epidemic. So, to find out the characteristic of present epidemic, we should have to collect a proper totality, proper symptoms to after observing several cases to make a clear picture of the epidemic. We should also consider the general symptoms, and it is less marked, but the particular and rarer symptoms belonging to new disease, it is marked and form a characteristics for that epidemic condition. However, the entire extent of such an epidemic disease and the totality of its symptoms cannot be perceived in a single patient, but can only be completely abstracted and gathered from the sufferings of several patients of different bodily constitution. This leads to selection of suitable homeopathic remedy for epidemic genus epidemicus. So, while finding out the genus epidemicus, we observe the common disease symptoms in many persons suffering from the same disease, and the persons are having different constitutions, so that we can able to find out the proper epidemic totality and to find out the genus epidemicus in case of epidemic disease. So it is helpful after finding out the proper epidemic totality. It is helpful to find out the proper genus epidemicus for that disease or for that epidemic condition. So this is all about the acute disease, acute case taking, how we should go further for the acute case taking. So in today's lecture we discussed about how acute case taking is easy than the chronic case taking, then which things are important to know or to find out the simillimum, especially in acute disease. That is, we should collect all the particular symptoms, then physical general symptoms and mental general symptoms to find out the acute totality. We should find out the common symptom totality after observing many persons, especially in epidemic disease. And this is when we observe many persons of different constitution at the same time, and in that when we observe the common disease picture, then it is easy to find out the genus epidemicus, and this is helpful in the epidemic condition while treating the patient. So this is all about the acute case taking. Thank you.